Welcome to another Let's Talk
Tuesday.
Tuesday. My name is Cherry,
I'm Crystal.
And I'm Tara.
and we are here on behalf of Deeper Life Gospel Center's social media team. Woo woo. Listen, we want to give a big shout out to Pastor Bell. That's Wade A. Bell Sr. He is the pastor of Deeper Life Gospel Center. Hey, Pastor.
Hey,
And
Pastor.
yeah, we are just happy to be back filming and doing Let's Talk Tuesday for season 2. How y'all feeling?
Good.
Great.
Yeah, this is definitely a blessing to be doing this again. So for season 2, we changed up a few things, just a little bit, not too much. But we would like to start off with a question. For your birthday, would you rather receive cash or a gift?
Now, I need that cash, honey. I mean, if I get some cash, then I can, get me a gift.
I think of it in that way, but then I think about if they know specifically what I want, like if they ask, like, what do you want for your birthday? I'll probably receive that. But my mom actually, like, if she give money, she'd be like, don't spend this on bills. Like she would like specifically tell me don't like spend it on something you want. So
Yeah. It's hard though, like you saying too. Like if you get cash and somebody tell you don't spend it on bills, but if it's a bill that's due, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it depends on who you get it from too. Because if you get it from your husband or something like that, and you just got this gift in mind that you just want him specifically to get, then yeah, I'll take the gift,
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, some people are really good gift givers
Yeah.
because they pay attention
Mhm.
to you. They pay more attention to you than maybe others do. So in that respect, I would choose the gift
Mm.
because I also feel like too that the effort that it takes to go find a gift is much appreciated, you
Yeah.
know, for
Mhm.
the person receiving it. Like, that it takes effort to get something for somebody, exactly how they like it, exactly the right size, the right color, the right shape from the right store,
Yeah.
so knowing that somebody sacrificed that their
Yeah.
time is very precious, and
Yeah.
knowing that they did that for you, it's just special. Like, and it just makes you feel special. So I would rather receive a gift.
Mm.
And because I feel like if I receive cash, then I have to go to the store and pick out my own stuff, which I can do that anyway. That's regular. I can buy my own stuff. That's besides the point. Okay.
Uh,
Birthday, I should not be working in any way, shape, or form, even if it's shopping. Like, give me my gift. Let me sit here
yeah.
and open it and relax and enjoy it or do whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it
Um,
depends on from who it is, like I said too.
oh yeah. I mean,
Sherry gives good gifts, just to let y'all know. She pay attention to detail.
I do.
She do. She
I
do.
do. I do. I just think, and that's probably why I picked the gift.
Yeah.
I like to give gifts, depending on what the person likes. And I think people really love it when people give them stuff like you could tell, like, oh, you've been actually paying attention. Like,
Mhm.
it's more to it than just a gift.
Right.
It makes you think. Like I said, you've been paying attention to me. You actually know what I like. Wow,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
people typically don't pay attention to you. They pay attention to themselves more so than you. So
Yeah.
yeah. So comment down below. which would you rather receive for your birthday? Cash or a gift? Or gifts, plural. I'm not saying it don't have to be
Cash
one.
and a gift is good too.
Listen, you can give me a gift, a card with cash in it. You know, you can send me something to my cash app. Okay.
Yes, okay.
I'm here for it. Okay. So yeah, y'all comment down below. Which would you rather receive for your birthday, cash or gift? We want to hear from you. Let us know. Okay. So also, we have been reading inserts from this book called 30 Days to Taming Your Tongue. And if you don't have it, you should check it out. We are just not promoting this book for any particular reason. We just trying to tame our tongues in 2021. Okay.
Okay.
So today we are talking about the decisive tongue. And the scripture that is attached to that is, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. And it says, divide and conquer is one of Satan's most effective strategies for hindering the effectiveness of any effort undertaken by two or more people. Divide and conquer, right? So that divisive tongue. So that means that the devil can use somebody to divide and conquer, to divide you from whoever that you connected with, and you all are getting stuff done, and y'all being victorious, y'all being successful, y'all doing what y'all do. And it don't have to be like husband and wife relationship. It could be two friends, it could be family members, where two or more are gathered. Okay. And the devil don't like it when we get together, because two heads are better than one.
That's
Right?
right.
Two minds are better than one.
Yes.
So it also said, I highlighted a couple things that stuck out to me about the decisive tongue. It says, we cannot afford to be ignorant of Satan's tactics to keep us at odds. He will cause us to become offended over a harmless statement, to read more meaning into a comment than the speaker intended. Now,
Ooh.
see, when I initially looked at the decisive tongue, I didn't think it was going to go there to that particular point. But it's like if I came to you, Tyra, and said, well, Crystal said that she don't like how you talk.
I ain't
So
say that, Tara. I ain't say that.
I'm just letting you know. I'm just using that as an example. And I'm just letting you know that that's what she said. Right. Now, it also talked about the motive behind what I just did. Right. What is my motive? Like, cause to me, either way, motive, whatever the motive is, that's a decisive tongue.
Yeah.
I'm or a divisive tongue. And I'm trying to divide y'all friends. And I'm like, ooh, Tyra, Crystal said she don't really like how you talk. Like she tolerated, but she don't really like how you talk. Like, why would I say that to you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you all experienced somebody having a divisive tongue?
Oh, yeah.
The way I thought about it, though, it's kind of, so let's say I go to Cherry and I'm talking about a friend I got, and I'm offended by what they said. And I'm saying, oh, they went off on me and said this to me. And and that's your opportunity to either kind of validate my feelings and be like, oh yeah, that's wrong, and oh yeah, she whatever. Or you could be like, well, so what did you say, or what like kind of not really validating or trying to affirm like, yeah, she did you wrong, but kind of helping me see the different perspectives. So bringing us together rather than dividing us. So that's the way I thought about it.
That's a good point. What about you, Chris?
Well, at work, when I was at work, it was a lot of that going on, back and forth, that caused a lot of confusion. The boss would tell one person this, and the employer tell what the boss said and all of that stuff, like, and then it just caused a whole bunch of mess. So yeah, I've seen it at the job a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Something else that it said in this book, it said our conflicts can become stepping stones to stronger relationships when we make a commitment to understand each other and to refrain from divisiveness. And that's kind of what you were saying. One of the things that you said, Tyra,
Mhm.
you know, we have to commit to being understanding and trying to understand, and not cause even more divisiveness by adding to it, you
Mhm.
know, adding
Right.
to what you heard, or, it's so, the devil is so slick, y'all.
Right.
And that's what I like about this book, because it brings out little things that you wouldn't think of, that you need to get your mouth together about.
Mhm.
You could be doing these little things and not even thinking nothing of it. Like, you could be going and tell your friend that so and so said something, just thinking that you got their back. Like, I'm just trying to let you know that as your friend, I heard so and so and so and so. But sometimes we have to be careful what we repeat,
Mhm.
and we have to be careful of the person's feelings that we're repeating it to. Because to me, if somebody says something hurtful about me, I feel like it's probably gonna hurt my feelings if you tell me that. If I don't already know, it's like, what you telling me, but you're not thinking about how that's gonna make me feel, and what's gonna be the end result. What's the purpose?
Right. Mhm.
Like, what is your point of telling me? Okay, now you told me, now my feelings hurt. Now what?
Right.
You know.
Yep.
So in this book, they have affirmations for each chapter, and today's affirmation is, I will make every effort to speak words that engender peace and to refrain from any communication that creates disunity. So basically, I'm going to be a peacemaker. I'm going to be a peace speaker. Okay. That's what I'm going to be doing. I don't know about y'all, but
And yes.
for the rest of this day, I'm going to be a peacemaker with my mouth.
Mhm.
Because you can be at peace and be quiet, but
Right.
that everybody can do that. It say that in the Bible. Even the fools seem right when they don't say nothing. You all that's watching, and this is for us too on here. Let's take the rest of this day to be peaceful and speak words of peace and not divisiveness.
Amen.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this word that Minister Brother Antoine Brown gave on Sunday. And
Yeah.
y'all, just so y'all know, shout out to Brother Brown. He has been on this show before. Hey.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen his episode of Let's Talk Tuesday, definitely go to our YouTube channel and look at the Let's Talk Tuesday playlist, and you will see his name, Antoine Brown, and check that out. And so you can get to know him a little more. So it's fifth Sunday. We don't always have fifth Sundays, but this Sunday was a fifth Sunday. And normally we would have the Kid Kingdom. They would come and they like take over the service, and all the kids would run the service and do the prayer and tithes and offering and all that. But obviously with everything going on with Rona, the kids are not doing what they normally do. So, and Brother Brown is our youth pastor, by the way. So he brought the word, and he talked about parent and children relationship with each other, parent-child relationship. And I'm intrigued to know what you guys thought about the message. Like, what did you guys think?
I like that he, brought his perspective and talked about it because, we always talk about what the kids should be doing, but, it's very few times that, other parents are saying this is how your relationship with your kids should be. And it's not always that authoritative, situation, it's being a blessing or apologizing or, just different things. So I like that he brought that aspect to it.
Okay, and our resident mom on the show, what did you think of his message?
It just made me look at myself as a parent like, like, am I doing this because I was taught this, and was I necessarily taught this because it was taught to my parents, and you know what I'm saying? Like the switch. I like when he brought that up, right? And back then, yeah, you had to go pick out a switch on the tree. And you better not come back with no skinny switch. Okay, you gotta come back with a thick switch. And if you smart, you will put on a bunch of pants up under there. And but I don't raise my kids like that, but that wasn't even my mom and dad, because I really didn't get whoopings from my mom and dad. I stayed with my aunt. That's another story for another day. But the kids, I try to talk to them more, because I learned that one from my dad. My dad was more of a lecturer, which, sometimes I wanted a whooping because them lectures be too long. You just be wanting, Dad, can I just get a whooping to get this over with? So I do it to my kids too. I threaten them like, you're gonna get a spanking out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of whoopings growing up. I got a lot of whoopings. I got put on punishment a lot. I was just bad. I talked back. I had a smart mouth.
I did too.
It's still kind of smart now, but
did you learn that? Like, I think I learned that. I had a smart mouth because I learned,
my mother's mouth is not. Let me tell you something. My mama do not play. Do not come for her. She's not the one. She will tell you she's not the one. So, and I was very under my mama. Like, I was really up on her. Like, I'm still up on her now. Like, I'm low key obsessed with my mama. Hey, mama. And that means I did what she did, whether it was good or bad. Whether rather it just didn't matter. I literally, everything she ate, I would eat. Like, even stuff now that I'm grown, I'm like, ugh, that's disgusting. I would never. But when I was a kid, whatever my mom did, she couldn't do no wrong, to be honest. And
he brought that out today too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He talked about how parents actually do things wrong, and how it's okay to apologize as a parent and admit that you were wrong. And that brings up, I'm glad you brought that up, because it brings me to something that he said, that do as I say and not as I do. Y'all, that wears me out. I can't stand that. That is so annoying to me. Like, you're supposed to be leading by example.
Yes.
Don't do as I say. No, I'm supposed to be seeing you do right and then do that. Not you doing one thing and then tell me don't do that. But you're doing it. And then when you say, but you did it, you get a whooping.
Don't be telling me what I did.
Right.
Being smart now. You're being
you're
smart.
a whole hypocrite, but
Like, come on, man. You can't train up the child to be smart. Then when I'm smart, then I ask you a question, and you get mad at me, then I get a whooping. Like, come on, parent. What we doing? You want me to be smart or not?
Because you can't whip them kids like you used to. They had to put you in jail now. So those old school tactics, you can't be doing none of that stuff. So we have to find different ways. Tara, as the resident counselor, like, we have to talk to these counselors and tell, The counselors have to tell you, like, look, you're gonna have to do something else. So that's what I've been instilling in my children. But they will get punishments. You know, you take away stuff, it gives the same effect.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you'll get the same results.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I work with kids, so it's like, of course, I can't whoop them. So it's like you gotta find alternate ways to get your point across and get some
Yeah.
compliance. But and we work with the kids' parents in regards to that too. So it's like kind of even changing them from yelling or whooping or things like that to actually having like you said, Crystal, talking to them or
Mhm.
explaining stuff, giving them the
Yeah.
reasons why you shouldn't do this or do that and things like that. So
Yeah. Not explaining when you whooping them. Did not tell you
Right.
like that.
No, that's not what she said. Listen, we are not encouraging nobody to beat their kids.
No.
On here.
Right.
I'm saying that was wrong. You know, that's what parents used to do. They used to think
Right.
kill you. And it's like, no, I can't hear that.
We're not encouraging that. We're not
No,
encouraging
no.
you to whoop your kids and beat your kids. And if you do, that's your business. 'Cause they're your kids and that's your house. But we're not encouraging
No.
that, is all we're saying.
No.
Do y'all think, I was just thinking like, and y'all let me know if y'all agree. Do y'all feel like whooping your kids is kind of a cop out? Like that's kind of like the lazy way out, like because it takes more effort and time to sit and explain something to your kids. Because let's be honest, my mama worked a lot. She didn't probably sit down talk to me for no 2 hours. She's tired. She's got to work. Listen, get this whoop and go sit down somewhere. But do y'all feel like it's kind of a cop out to just whoop your kid and then okay, that's it, instead of taking the time to actually explain stuff to them?
Well, just like he brought out in the scripture, it do say spare the rise for the child too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see it because correct me if I'm wrong, Tara. They said that you can like do an open hand spank on the behind or whatever. Right?
Oh, so the area of
Because I'm trying to be correct.
They don't have like a specific like you could do this type of beating, I guess.
Okay, not like a beat,
but
like I'm saying a spanking.
but it's kind of like to your discretion, like if it's leaving bruises and like so
No,
it's like
not that.
levels to it. So yeah. So it depends, but
Right.
in regards to your scripture thing, like the ride, it could be a metaphor for a lot of different things,
That's true.
Yeah, so I don't necessarily think, and I think it's weird because with my parents, I had many siblings. So in the beginning, they did whoop this. Once they got to the younger ones, they didn't do no.
You
They
get
was like,
tired.
Cause like we don't have the energy no more. So like when they younger parents, they got the energy to do.
The younger parents said, I got time. I have time.
As it goes on. So we'd get whoopings, but we got whoopings and lectures. So it was like my dad would do the lectures. Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think it's a cop out. I think, you get frustrated because you weren't taught. You know what I'm saying? It's no like a manual to parenting. So everybody is just like learning, like especially when we had our first child, it's like, okay, we had to decide, are we going to raise them like our parents raised us, or are we going to try to do it a different way? So it's just like, okay, if you doing something real dangerous, like you about to run in the street and you done ran in the street and, stuff like that, like, you really do want to do something where they know, look, that's not cool because that's something that could get you hit by a car or anything like that. But I think some parents back in the day, that's just what they was taught.
Yeah.
It was just what they was taught. So I don't think it was a cop out. It's just what they learned,
Mm-hmm.
But it's different ways now. We don't have to do all of that no more.
You don't. And if anything, if this quarantine has taught any of your parents anything, is that it take a lot to raise your child and your kids, because I feel like some of my friends that have kids, and I'm sorry to be laughing at y'all. If y'all watching, I love y'all. just it's just funny to me because I feel like a lot of effort and work gets pushed off onto like teachers and like school, and
Mm.
like you expect the teachers to do a lot more than what they actually are, what their job is. Like
Mm.
your child acting right is your job at the house. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
the
true.
teacher is just educating them about, you know, the world stuff, but the world and then inside of your house, two different things. So if your child cut up at school, then that's your fault at the house. You
Hmm.
have
Mhm.
to let them know to be out in the world, you can't be doing this, that, or the other. Like you
Right.
just can't. It's a place called jail that you can go to after you about 18.
Okay.
So yeah. And then
Mhm.
also I was thinking about the spirit of rise for the child, that little thing.
Yeah.
And so I was doing some research about it. I was like, spirit of rise for the child, because he brought up some things. He brought up two different things. It's two scriptures. There's Proverbs 13 and 24, the spirit of rise for the child scripture.
Yeah.
And if you want to find that exact, like in that those exact words, King James Version, okay?
Yeah.
And then there's Psalms 23 and 4, where the rod is not being used in that way. It's
Mm.
being used to bring comfort. So
Oh.
I was looking it up, like what's the meaning of the rod and the staff, and it said both the rod and staff can be translated as a staff, a walking stick, a scepter, or a rod. Sometimes they refer to the ends of the shepherd's crook. A shepherd's a shepherd might call the walking stick end his staff, while calling the crook his rod. Thus, he would think of the one instrument as his rod and staff, right?
Mm.
And so in Psalm 23 and 4, it actually says that it doesn't say spare the rod, spoil the child. That's Proverbs 13 and 24. But Psalm 23 and 4 says, and I'm reading from the New Living Translation. Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me.
Mm.
So, it's just funny that he brought that out, how one word can have several
So
meanings.
many meanings.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we've talked about this before on this show. One word can have several meanings. So it also ties back into spirit of rod for the child in Proverbs 13:24, because if if in Psalm 23 it says it means with strength, like to comfort means to give strength, to comfort by increasing the power. The psalmist was persuaded that God would strengthen him and stimulate him so as to enable him to do what needed to be done,
Yeah.
which goes back to what I said.
Mhm.
The rod and thy staff starts in your house.
Yeah.
Strengthen and stimulate your kids to enable them to do what needs to be done when they go out into the world
Mhm.
around other people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? I just thought that
Yeah.
was so interesting, that he brought up those two different scriptures with the same word with two different meanings.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Ooh,
then
and this quarantine, having kids at home, it really lets you see what these kids be doing in school. So I'm
that
walking
part.
past my kids like, you better sit down, you better pay attention, you better, girl, I got the teacher's back. So you able to do all of that now too. So, he really getting us together. God is getting us together, parents. He getting us together.
Mhm.
Yeah, and Cherry, I like how you tied all that together. Just, a scene, like going off what I said, like saying the rod can be a different thing. It can be different
Yes.
things. It could be that, you know, the other side of do as I say, not, that do as I say, not
Right.
as
Yes.
give them that reason. Because growing up, we go through, they tell us so many rules. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. So if a kid is going into the street, don't just yell at them, don't go into the street, but tell them reason why, because you could get
Yes.
hurt. You could, different things. Like kids don't want to get hurt. So
Yes.
just that explanation be like, okay.
Yes. See, back in the day, they just yanked you on
Right.
out. They didn't tell you nothing. You just got yanked.
But it's definitely important to explain things to your children because children grow up to be adults, okay? And we want these children to adult well, because I know some grown adults that aren't adulting very well. And I'm sure it's because, how they was raised and brought up. Everything ain't always just somebody's fault. Like sometimes it's just how they was raised and they just don't know no better, So parents, you all have a really important job, and like the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. And as you learn today, that's not just a whooping. Okay.
Yes. Thank
Y'all
you.
get into
Mhm.
the word and study the word and understand what you're reading. Okay. Don't
Mhm.
just whooping is not everything. Okay. You can whoop somebody and then they still act crazy.
Yes. And then it said don't cause the child a wrath either.
Yeah, he said don't provoke your child. Don't do it.
Yes.
Don't provoke your child. And he said when he said that, he was saying about ways that you can provoke your child. And I definitely encourage you to go back and watch that message by Brother Antoine Brown, because it was a lot of good nuggets in there. And I want to ask y'all something. What's the difference between discipline and punishment? He brought that up as well.
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah. Something to think
I'm gonna let
about.
Tyler say that.
So, so punishment is just a consequence. So like in behavioral like therapy and all that, you have consequences, which are punishments or like rewards. So punishment is just taking away something or things like that. And then of course reward is giving them something. And then like with discipline, like you think of punishment or you think of a consequence, but then I think of like I want to be disciplined in money. I want to just be disciplined in working out, eating healthy, all that. So it's like just that aspect of being responsible or being stable, or so that's probably a reason why parents give chores and you know tell them to do their homework or do different things because they need to be disciplined in those areas. So
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
it's important to know the difference between discipline
Yes.
and punishment. They are not the same thing, guys. They are
Yes.
not. And he talked about growing up and having, and not talking, parents and children not talking because of something that happened in the past, and I I definitely encourage parents, if you have younger children or teenagers, talk to them and explain stuff. Don't just be talking about because I said so and all of that. No, talk to them and explain to them why.
Yeah.
Like the ladies here were saying, why can't you be just talking to anybody any old type of way? There's a reason why. And there's
Yeah.
consequences when you do that. And let me explain to you and tell you why, and maybe give you an example of something that happened to me as a parent, or
Mhm.
or somebody I know. Explain stuff to your children, because you don't want your kids to grow up and have issues with you and not want to
Yeah.
speak to you, and you don't want discord in your relationship with your children. So explain stuff to them, because they're not just children. They're people. They're just
Yeah.
small people that's gonna grow up to be full grown people, full
Mhm.
adults. And you
Mhm.
have to keep that in mind. And I know, Crystal, you have two small children, but
Mhm.
I like that you're very aware of the fact that your children will grow up to be adults. Like you don't be like, like you don't do that. And
Mhm.
that's really important, and I'm excited to see how they turn out, like how will they be when they grow up, you know?
Me
And
too.
yeah, so listen, guys, we want to thank you so much for joining us today, and make sure you share this video, start a watch party, you know, all of that good stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Deeper Life Gospel Center. Follow us on Instagram at Deeper Life GC, and make sure you join Pastor Bell this Thursday for interactive Bible study. And make sure you join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. at DLGC.org. Click that Watch Live tab. And we just want to say we will see you next week for another Let's
Let's
Talk
talk to